Hey guys, just doing a video review, and today again I am looking at fishing rods. I am in particular looking at the Supertrip fishing rod kit. So I suppose let's go ahead and show you what it looks like, tell you how I got on with it, and general first impressions, I suppose. So I've used a couple different reels already, and in comparison to, I suppose I'll compare it to a few of the other ones that I've used as well, to give you guys an idea. This is the reel itself. You can see it looks pretty good. I like the gold or the bronzy two-tone combo, and overall in general the quality of the product is really good as well. So again, this handle, it's got a nice flick to it. Your lock, I suppose, your reverse gear just there, and you can see it clicks into place. So with some of the cheaper reels, what I've noticed is they click only into certain places. With this, you've got I think it's got in total 10 ball bearings, 10 bearings, sorry, which means it's a smooth operation and it doesn't click in specific places. It will click into the lock position exactly within each turn. Overall then, to use this, again, you've got your little drag adjuster there as well, and when we used it out in mackerel fishing again, we did some pier fishing and we went out to catch some mackerel. With this particular reel, what became apparent was it holds about 100 meters worth of line. Now, because it only holds about 100 meters worth of line, where we were fishing out on Admiralty Pier, and it's about 2 miles in, or 2 miles out towards the sea. So you cast out quite a distance. It's quite a big drop as well. So it became apparent quite soon that actually 100 meters of line was nowhere near enough, because once you've cast it out and you've let the sea drag your line for a couple seconds, you've probably got about between 10 and 15 meters of line left on the reel, on the spool itself. So that was one thing that we noticed. The other thing was also, once you've got 10 or 15, if you're fighting a big fish, you've not got any more line to let it run so that it tires itself out. You've got that bit of line, and then you're pretty much trying to reel it back in again. Apart from that, I mean, the reel itself, it works really well, and I can't fault it in that respect. It's probably better suited for if you're lake fishing or if you're beach casting or something like that, where you're not having to go a huge distance out. But overall, I think this reel was a really good reel. Handle as well, it's in comparison to another reel that I bought this week, the handle is slightly easy to use. I like the fact that this spins, so actually when you are trying to hook a big fish in or trying to hook multiple fish in, it's quite easy to sort of start reeling them in as quickly as possible. So overall then, this is pretty good. And I did say I'm reviewing the whole kit, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you all of the different bits. So I know I've spent quite a bit of time on this, but it's probably the most important bit, so I thought I'd give you a good detailed look. What I'll do is I'll give you a final look at it so you can get a nice close-up look, and there you go. Okay, so you get that. You also get 100 meters of braided line. I haven't actually used any of this, so I can't comment on how good or bad it is, but overall, I mean, it's braided line and it seems pretty good and it seems pretty strong as well. So again, I'll give you a closer look. Hopefully the camera picks it up. There we go. Okay, so you can see, and it seems pretty good for the kit that you get with it. Generally, or most of the time when you buy these kits, they tend to cheap out on some of the other bits. So you'd have either a good rod or a good reel. Sometimes you get a good rod and reel, and then all of the accessories tend to be quite cheap. With this, so far, the reel and rod seem pretty good, and I suppose I better show you the rod as well. So this is my second Supertrip rod. So I bought the rod separately, and that was a 3.6 meter rod. and this is a 1.8 meter rod. This wasn't bought for me, this was bought for my little cousin, just to encourage him to take up fishing because he enjoyed it quite a bit. And this is pretty much identical to the 3.6 meter one, so if you've watched my video on that, you'll know my general experience. In summary, it's a very good rod, however it can't take a lot of weight, and the reason it can't take a lot of weight is because of this tip. So because of this tip, you can cast out a great distance, or you can cast out accurately to a good distance because it's got the flick. But what happens is, once you've got the rod in the water, and you're even if you've got a slightly heavy weight, what happens is the rod flexes like this. And when the rod flexes like this, rather than your fishing line running along and down, it runs straight across at an angle because it takes the shortest path. So it will go from there to there, right? So what you then have is you're already fighting the line and the rod if you've got any fish on there. The other thing is, once you've got some fish on there, the rod is very, very strong, very, very strong for the size and for the telescopic, fishing rod type. And given how flexible it is, it's a really, really strong rod. But it does make reeling fishing a little bit tricky, because once they're on this and you've got fish on this, you can imagine this is flexing like this and you're trying to reel it in and you've got a good fight on your hands. So I think on this I rated it, overall probably about a 4 or 5, and it's pretty much the same as this. You cannot beat how small this is. I was amazed at the size of it. And the other thing that I noticed with the 3.6 meter one was where the reel sits. So on my other fishing rods, the reel sits much further up, and this portion would usually be in between my thighs so that I can get a good cast out. Stick it in between my thighs, and then as I'm reeling it in, or if I'm fighting any big fish, I've got my thighs and my torso to try and help me reel that fish in. With this, obviously you're limited to just your hands. You can cast out with your hand, that's fine, but the moment you've got a big fish on, you're limited with sort of how much help you can give yourself, because you've only got the strength of that one hand. So this is probably good for, especially the 1.8 meter size, it's probably good for a child, or sort of if you're using this as a second rod or a backup rod, or if you're going on holiday or something like that. So you get that with it as well. You also get a lot of accessories with this, or like little fishing lures and stuff, and I'll show you all of that in a second. What I wanted to show you was you do get a little protector just to make sure that you don't break it in the process of like putting it in your boot or in your bag or anything like that. So let's go ahead and show you all the accessories that you get. So you get little lure just there. You get 2 of these. So you get 2 slightly different ones, and they're both, again, nice and well made. I haven't actually used these because we've got some of these already, but again, they're pretty well made. You get weights, and you can see there, you get a bright coloured, what looks like a prawn basically, hook there. You get, one feather with a spoon on, just there, like that. You get another one, this time bright yellow, these little prawns. So I'll show you that up close and go. Get that, and again, this is pretty well made as well. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hooks. Ow! Just stabbed myself in the finger. 5 hooks like that, so they're just J hooks, just like that. You get your little beads. You get loads of these. Go. And you also get your little artificial worms as well. So overall then, the kit is priced at about £40, I think I paid for it. £40.99, and I think it's priced pretty good, pretty well for someone who is looking to get into fishing and is very much an amateur fisherman like myself, and is just taking this up as a occasional hobby and not professional. Again, I mean, the rod isn't the best of rods. It's a very good rod. It could be slightly better, but again, you have to think about the price you're paying plus all of the other bits that you get for £40, I think it's very well priced. So in terms of ratings, I am going to give it a 5 out of 5. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.